Hey, this is American Lonzo fan, and I just retired from my county job, and I thought I'd do something a little interesting. These are two working knives that I pretty much carried with me while at work. This is the Spyderco Canis, designed by Kelly McCann, compression lock, high-end super stainless steel, and is gonna run you about 238 bucks. Let's say a little over 200, just to be safe. This is the Gerber Tactical Remix. This is, of course, about $35 at the most, maybe 40. Let's say 30 if you really shopped around. So liner lock, G10 handles, Chinese stainless steel, a little bit of a coating on it, but. So, two knives, two vastly different price points. Over $200, a little over 30. Best thing about the Spyderco is it is super sharp. That blade is like super sharp. If you want real precision cutting, it's great. Of course, it's designed as a technical knife to make deep lacerations. And whereas this one, I think I ran a fine stone over it once, but it's remained pretty sharp. Not too bad. While you can't do the Spyderco flick, and while it has to be kind of, it's very difficult to just whip it out. I'm old school, so I was used to the good old buck hunter lockback knives. We learned a long time ago is that you can make it all happen. Quick opening knife, one-handed, by doing this. You pinch a little bit. As you bring the knife in, you're bringing your thumb around, and then it locks open. One motion, just like that. So you don't need to whip it out or do something like that. It's kind of crazy. You're probably going to lose a knife. You're going to do some wear and tear on it. All you need to do is just a little turn and the motion. There it is. So anyway, just as a side note, this Gerber Remix Tactical, yeah, it's cheap, made in China and stuff, but it's a nice knife. So what I want to do is I'm going to put these two through a torture test and find out which one handles better, especially for their price point. Let's see what we find. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do a simple spine whack test, like so, and see how it goes. So cheaper Gerber Remix Tactical. See how she does. Whoa! That's interesting. Let's try it again. Yep. Okay, wow. It's not broken, and it's staying good, but it is not surviving the... Oh, that time it did. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so it's slipping. Liner lock, and I think it's being enough to push it over and close on it. The good news is that it's not free to move, so as you can see, it only closes so far, but closes enough. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. It's the 200 and some odd Spyderco did survive, but you can hear it now. There's more blade play. I don't get that. So it's not slipping, but boy, is it. Ugh, I hate that. Spyderco won the spine whack test, but looks like it took some damage. All right, see some other things. Okay, now we're going to try the over travel spine whack, see what happens there. Gerber Remix Tactical first. Yep, it closed. Yep, closed again. Okay. So basically what's happening is the liner lock is slipping over with the impact. It's not breaking, but it is just slipping over. So, okay, now let's try the Spyderco. Same thing. Well, it won't close on you, but man, I'm really surprised. Okay, well, still works. Let's try some other tests. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is see if we can break the tip here between the two knives, the Gerber and the Spyderco. Now, the Gerber might have an edge just because, no pun intended, it is a Tonto blade. Tontos are, the tip is known not only for their piercing, but usually being good blade geometry. So, whereas Warncliffs, especially an extreme Warncliffe like this, may have an issue, but we'll see. I really hope I don't just damage a over $200 knife, but we'll see. Let's start with the Gerber. No tip damage, and once again no blade play, so wasn't too surprised with that. Okay, let's try the Spyderco. Yep, you got it. Tip broke. Now, this is not a knock on Spyderco. This is just it had a really extreme blade profile, and so yeah, what do you expect? But oh well, is what it is. So what's still bugging me is, man, this thing is just really loose. Okay, we're gonna throw some knives at the fence board. Now, I'm not looking to stick this thing because, man, I haven't done knife throwing in a long time, not since I did the last torture test, but mostly just going to see after it hits and drops or whatever how well it holds up. So let's see. Oh, not bad. So this thing throws pretty well. Let's try again. Oop, not that time. Well, just not sticking, but that's more me. Okay, let's try the Spyderco. Keep in mind, it's got no tip. This poor thing does not throw well. Or I don't. One of the two. Oh boy. Let's try it this way. Now keep in mind, I'm bad at this, so. Oop, that didn't work. Spyderco. Yeah, that hit handle. Okay, so these are the two knives that I put through the torture test. Spyderco, $200 plus Spyderco, and about $30 Gerber. Okay, real quick, you can tell the Gerber blade, even with the Tonto blade, did take some damage. There's some curling right there. That was from the throw. There's no blade play, still surprisingly. Spyderco didn't take any additional damage, but man, this just, you can hear it, just bugs the heck out of me. It's still smooth, it still opens, but man, it just, I know they talk about how great the compression lock is, and yes, it did not fail, but boy, it losing its tip, while it still has a good, you know, flat edge, it's lost a lot of its sharpness with that point. So, okay, so which one won the torture test? Well, I can't say either one of them survived, because they didn't. Granted, neither one is known as being a hard use knife, but they're about even. The Gerber definitely didn't win the spine whack test, but to its credit, the lock didn't break. It just failed with that hard impact, and I can't mimic it here, but with that hard spine whack test, it would slip. And my guess would be if I kept it up, it might misshape the liner lock. And of course, with the Spyderco, yeah, lost its tip and gained a lot of blade play. So, like I said, neither one of them won. If I absolutely had to pick one, I'd have to say the Gerber, because for what it is, it's still workable. If you want it as a working knife, it still can do that. Blade is still sharp, and even this little, I can polish that out without too much issue. I can't replace the tip. I mean, I can try to really grind out a new tip, but it's not going to be the same. And once again, this is concerning, that there's just so much blade play now. But to its credit, it didn't fail. My heart goes out, because I still got to think, geez, I spent over $200 on this, and it's not a hard use knife, and that's the kind of damage it could take, and the blade play. Whereas this, it's like, well, yeah, I personally think I spent about $28 on this. I've had it for a long time. I've used the hell out of it, and yeah, I could still use it without issue. So and if anything, well, I'll just go buy another one. So, something to think about. Whenever you buy one of those high-end $200, $300 knife, remember that, yeah, I know some of them claim they're hard-use knives, but, a true hard-use knife is a fixed blade knife, and it's probably going to be a belt knife. It's not going to be EDC. An EDC knife is not really hard use. So, anyway, I'd have to say, yep, by default, Gerber Remix Tactical wins the torture test. That's all I got. God bless you. Nose of love.